Palestinian journalist Mohammed al-Deje was in Gaza to cover protesters at the Great March of Return. He says he wanted to report on how Israeli forces were trying to disable protesters by shooting them below the knees with live ammunition. Then, an explosive bullet shattered both of his legs.
I was a little bit away from the dividing fence. Suddenly I was shot. It hit my right leg and went into my left leg. At that moment, I felt electricity through my whole body. It was constant pain. I tried to resist and stand up, but I couldn't.
Since March, Palestinians have been protesting in Gaza every week. According to the Palestinian Health Ministry, almost 6,000 of the protesters who've been shot by Israeli forces have been hit in the lower leg. The Israeli army says it opens fire as a last resort against Palestinians throwing rocks, grenades, and firebombs. And it says aiming for the legs is an act of restraint. But adults aren't the only targets.
We document about 95 cases who were shot by the Israeli forces by using explosive bullets. They underwent to amputation surgery, and this number is including 17 children.
But the humanitarian organization Doctors Without Borders says explosive bullets are not a form of restraint and cause wounds and fractures that can easily get infected. Aid groups say the Israeli military is violating international law by using live ammunition, which they say amounts to excessive force. And they say it's often used against peaceful protesters.
We were hanging out and we found a place to sit. I was lighting a cigarette and suddenly I was shot. I blacked out and woke up in the hospital.
Mohammed says he was clearly marked as a member of the press on the day he was shot, and he has something to say to the international community.
My message to them is to open investigations into the crimes against the Palestinians by the Israeli occupation, especially regarding intentional injuries to any part of the body, legs, torso, or head.
He won't be able to cover more protests anytime soon, and many more won't even be able to protest at all. Sarah Balter, TRT World.